The invisible throne, the war you lose before you speak. You enter the conversation. You believe it is a level playing field, a space of equals where the best idea, the most charming wit, the most sincere heart will win the day. You have already lost, because you have failed to understand the first and most brutal law of all human interaction. Every conversation is a silent, relentless war for the frame. It is not a discussion. It is a siege. And the man whose reality frame is weaker will invariably find his world collapsing, his will subjugated, his very thoughts recolonized by the one whose frame is stronger. Her attraction to you, initiate, is not a consequence of what you say. It is a direct, biological, and unwavering response to the structural integrity of your frame. Today, we do not offer you more words to fill the air. We offer you the architectural blueprints of power, the 7 foundational pillars upon which an unshakable, irresistible, sovereign, seductive frame is built. This is not a collection of tactics. This is a system of being. To master this gnosis is to stop being a guest in her reality, desperately seeking her approval, and to become the architect of a reality so compelling, so potent, that her surrender to it feels like coming home. This is the unseen throne from which all true influence is wielded. Pillar 1. The Sovereign's Decree. The Annihilation of Supplication. The first pillar, upon which all others rest, is the Sovereign's Decree. It is the absolute, non-negotiable, internal law that your reality is primary. Your mission is your king. Your principles are your scripture. Her approval, her validation, her very presence is a welcome addition to your world, but it is never, ever the source of its power. The beta supplicates. He asks for permission with his words, with his eyes, with his hesitant posture. He communicates, "Is this okay? Am I doing this right? Please like me." He seeks to operate within her frame, to obey her rules. The alpha defends. He reacts to her tests, parries her challenges, and asserts his frame in response to her pressure. He is a warrior guarding a fortress. The sovereign, long resonant pause, simply emanates. His frame is not a wall to be defended. It is the climate, the very air she breathes. He achieves this through a profound internal shift, an annihilation of the need for any external validation. Your first rite of passage is to surgically excise the cancer of supplication from your communication. Stop asking for permission. Start speaking from a place of assumed authority. Do not ask, "Would you like to get a drink sometime?" This is a plea. Instead, state your reality. Our energies align. We will connect again soon. This is not a request. It is a prophecy. This is the death of the question and the birth of the decree. This is the foundational pillar of all seductive power. Pillar 2. The Oracle's Tongue. The power of potent ambiguity. The second pillar is the Oracle's tongue. The common man, desperate to be understood, floods the world with data. He explains, he justifies, he clarifies. He leaves no room for mystery, and in doing so, he strangles her imagination and murders her desire. The sovereign understands that a woman's attraction ignites not in the space of certainty, but in the delicious, maddening void of ambiguity. He does not provide all the answers. He provides a more interesting question. He wields ambiguity as a scalpel, creating cognitive open loops that her mind will work relentlessly, obsessively, to close. This is not about being mysterious in a performative, childish way. This is the masterful deployment of linguistic and behavioral voids. It is the unfinished story that trails off into a knowing smirk. It is the compliment that carries a subtle, almost imperceptible challenge. It is the gaze that sees something in her she doesn't even see in herself, and then looks away without explanation. Consider the power of this. Instead of saying, "You're beautiful," a statement of fact that requires only a "thank you," the sovereign might say, with a calm, penetrating gaze, "There's a dangerous elegance to you. I haven't yet decided if it's a shield or a weapon." He has not given her a dinner point. He has given her a labyrinth. Her mind will now be consumed with solving this riddle, and by extension with solving him. This, initiate, is the difference between being a conversationalist and being a conversational sorcerer. If you are beginning to grasp the power of making her mind work for you, command the like button. Acknowledge your first step into the gnosis of the oracle. Pillar 3. The warrior's humor. The blade of disruption. The third pillar is the warrior's humor. Forget the jester's jokes, the desperate clowning of the man who seeks to entertain his way into her affections. That is the humor of the supplicant. The sovereign's humor is a weapon. It is a tool of pattern interruption, of frame destruction, of sophisticated, high-level dominance. Its purpose is not to make her laugh, but to momentarily shatter her reality, to introduce a delightful absurdity that disarms her critical mind and leaves her in a state of pleasurable, receptive confusion. Imagine she tests you with a classic frame challenge. I bet you say that to all the girls. The beta becomes defensive. No, of course not, you're special. He has failed. The alpha might offer a clever comeback, only the special ones. He has passed, but he has still engaged with her test on her terms. The sovereign wields the warrior's humor. He might hold her gaze, offer a slow, almost imperceptible smile, and say with deadpan gravity, "No, the others have a different script. Yours is much more interesting." He has not answered her question. He has done something far more powerful. He has subverted her frame, introduced a potent element of mystery, what script, and subtly complimented her by framing her as a unique challenge. She cannot help but laugh, not at a joke, but at the sheer, unexpected elegance of his reframe. In that moment of laughter, her defenses are down, her reality has been fractured, and his frame has become absolute. This is not about being funny. This is about being lethally, irresistibly clever. Pillar 4. The Alchemist's Ear. The art of tactical empathy. The uninitiated believe that to command a frame, one must dominate the conversation, holding the floor with a relentless barrage of stories and opinions. This is a profound misunderstanding of power. True unshakable frame is built not in the speaking, but in the listening. Not a passive, placating listening, but a deep, tactical, alchemical listening. The sovereign deploys what the master negotiator Chris Voss calls tactical empathy. It is the art of listening so intently to her, of understanding her emotional world so profoundly, that you can articulate her own reality back to her better than she can herself. You do this through the ritual of labeling. You name the unspoken emotion beneath her words. She speaks of a frustrating day at work. You do not offer solutions. You pause, hold her gaze, and say with quiet certainty, "It seems like you feel unappreciated." Or, "It sounds like you feel trapped." The effect of this is psychic dynamite. In a world where no one truly listens, you have just demonstrated that you have not only heard her words, but you have decoded the very emotional current that drives them. You have seen her soul. This creates a bond of rapport so powerful, so instantaneous, it feels like magic. She feels profoundly, almost terrifyingly understood. Her subconscious registers you not as a conversational partner, but as an oracle, a seer. And a woman will give her entire reality over to the man who can show her the map of her own heart. This is not the passive, active listening of the therapist's couch. This is an active, almost predatory form of emotional reconnaissance. Have you ever felt the magnetic pull of someone who truly made you feel understood, not just heard? What is the one unspoken emotion you've always yearned for someone to recognize in you? The desire to be seen as strong, as vulnerable, as wild? Share your gnosis in the comments. Your answer is a key to your own hidden archetypal needs. Pillar 5. The King's Silence. Dominion through the void. The fifth pillar is the most advanced and the most powerful. It is the King's Silence. The beta fears silence. He rushes to fill it with noise, with chatter, with anything to alleviate the social pressure. The alpha may use silence as a tactic, a momentary power play. The sovereign king, he inhabits silence. It is his native territory, his throne room. He understands that her nervous system, like all of nature, abhors a vacuum. When you deploy a profound, calm, non-reactive silence after she has spoken, especially after she has issued a test or a bid for emotional reaction, you create a powerful atmospheric void. Her mind will race to fill it. Her subconscious will scramble for a foothold. She will begin to question her own statement, to reevaluate her own frame, to project her own insecurities and desires into the vast, unflinching mirror of your stillness. Your mastery of this pillar is measured in your ability to hold that silence for a beat longer than she can bear. Let her be the one to break it. Let her be the one to offer a clarification, to seek your approval, to nervously fill the space. The moment she does, she has unconsciously, irrevocably ceded the frame to you. You have won the war without uttering a single word. You have demonstrated on a primal, pre-verbal level that your internal reality is so solid, so unshakable, that her entire world must bend to its gravitational pull. This is a core gnosis we have exposed before. Your stillness is a weapon. Pillar 6. The Chronomancer's Tense, the Alchemy of Time. The sixth pillar is the art of the Chronomancer, the master of conversational tense. The common man is trapped in the immediacy of the present, reacting to the now. The sovereign architect's desire, by consciously weaving together the past, present, and future. He anchors the present by referencing a shared past, even one that has just been created. Just like that moment a few minutes ago when your eyes lit up. There it is again. This creates a sense of shared history, of depth, of a private reality being built between you. Then he projects into the future, not with needy questions about the next date, but assumptive, evocative statements that plant a seed of an inevitable shared future in her mind. The interesting thing will be discovering how this energy between us evolves. Or, after she reveals a hidden vulnerability, you'll look back on this moment, on telling me that, and realize it was the point everything started to shift. This is not asking for her future. It is inscribing yourself into it. You are using language to build a bridge from a shared moment in the past through the intensity of the present into a future that she now unconsciously assumes includes you. You are weaving a narrative through time, and she is the heroine. Pillar 7. The Unapologetic Truth, the fusion of Mode 1. The seventh and final pillar is the unapologetic truth. This is the integration of what our gnosis calls Mode 1 honesty. It is the courage to state your desire, your intent, your reality, without apology, without justification, without fear of her reaction. This is the pillar that fuses all others together. Your sovereign decree is an unapologetic truth. Your warrior's humor is an unapologetic truth cloaked in wit. Your alchemist's ear hears her unapologetic truth beneath her social performance. When she tests you, challenging your frame, the ultimate response is not a clever parry, but a calm, unwavering restatement of your reality. You're probably just saying that to sleep with me. The sovereign's response, delivered with zero defensiveness and a calm, knowing gaze. That is certainly part of the reality we are exploring, yes. This act of radical, unashamed honesty is the ultimate pattern interrupt. It dissolves her games, shatters her social scripts, and forces her into a space of raw, authentic interaction. She may be shocked, she may be challenged, but she will be profoundly, irrevocably attracted to the sheer, unshakable power of a man who is utterly at home with his own desire and utterly unafraid of hers. These 7 pillars, initiate, are the steel girders of the irresistible, seductive frame. They require courage. They demand self-mastery. To remain ignorant of them is to forever be a builder of shacks in the hurricane of her reality. To master them is to become the architect of cathedrals. If you feel the undeniable structural truth of this gnosis resonating within your own being, command the like button now. Acknowledge the blueprint. The Cathedral's Forge, architecting your sovereign self. You now possess the architectural blueprints. You have seen how the sovereign forges his reality through the alchemy of conversation, using not just words, but silence, ambiguity, humor, and truth as his potent tools. But a blueprint is not the temple. The gnosis is not the embodiment. The true work, the great work, lies in the forging of the self. Which of these 7 pillars represents the greatest weakness in your own current architecture? Is it the supplication in your voice, the fear of silence, the inability to wield humor as a weapon, or the terror of speaking your unapologetic truth? Confront your weakness. Name it in the comments below. The first step to reinforcing the foundation is to acknowledge its cracks. To truly build this unshakable frame, to move from intellectually understanding these pillars to viscerally embodying them, requires a journey into the deepest forges of the Seduction Noire cathedral. It demands initiation. It demands practice. It demands the courage to dismantle your old fragile self to make way for the sovereign architect within. If your soul now rejects the flimsy structures of the past and craves the power to build realities of your own design, then your true work begins now. Subscribe and strike the obsidian bell of unveiling. The path to becoming a master builder of irresistible realities is reserved for those who are willing to first become the masters of themselves. Stop asking for her attention. Build a cathedral of your own being so magnificent, so resonant, so undeniably real that she will beg to come inside and worship.